right, and we're live.
Yeah, I wasn't about to take a swing of my coffee because I don't know how hot that is. And let's not interrupt the 30 seconds to be like,
That's
all right. Let's try it now.
Yeah, powdered creamer doesn't cool it down at all.
Creep.
Yeah.
It's called creep. Creamy powder.
Yes. Nice. So how is everybody doing? It looks like we got a busy chat already.
People doing stuff.
Yeah. What's going on here? So Clarion and Matt, how is it going?
We all know that.
And Miguel, good to see you. And Abyss, of course. Nice.
Chat is a modern day equivalent of the Necronomicon, right? You just don't read it.
Nice.
Oh, but hey, the TV's over there now, so I can actually read the chat.
Oh, yeah, you can read it. Yeah. It's
even with my
big.
glasses, I can't see what's going on up there.
It's pretty big on the TV. Nice. So how is everybody doing? So yeah, how was your break? We had a nice long break this year.
It was pretty long.
Yeah. Did you get to enjoy? You were traveling. You went to the in-laws.
Yeah. We didn't get any snow. We didn't get any. It was just kind of. Actually, it was colder here than up there. Right?
Oh wow. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was miserable. It's been just hovering, around freezing.
Oh well, you're also like up on a mountain.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not too bad. Any game stuff? Oh, did you read anything?
Did I read anything? I spent a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
I found a new way to lonely fun.
Oh,
Excel spreadsheets to track how many 6mm miniatures you have need, and so I was spending a lot of time pouring through this army list, going, okay, only this, and plugging it into a spreadsheet and seeing the numbers tick, 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 right? That, yeah.
There you go. Lonely fun.
It was lonely fun, right? Because, anyway.
Very cool.
That's all you're going to do. I'm not going to take my painting stuff up there.
Right. Yeah, that's true. You have to have something very
I think my New Year's resolution is going to be to get out to as many Jig Osaka or Kansai Jig game days as I can. So I went to the last Sunday, saw Alan in forever, and
nice.
played a couple games there.
Oh, cool.
That was fun.
Nice. Yeah, it's good. They meet quite a bit, and there's different cities have the different events, so you can make the rounds if you're willing to travel.
I guess if you could, you could, right? Yeah, the one down here is just about the first Sunday of every month. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I think there's one in Nara coming up at the end of this month.
Oh, okay.
That Nick, the mini painter, he's going to bring Infinity, the new Infinity, because I guess that they had that delay in the new rules version in December, so that everyone's been dying to play the new version N5. So they're going to show off some Infinity down there and see if they can get people interested. Start a group.
Nice. Meanwhile, us historical war gamers are working on rule sets from 1970.
Right.
Not that old. I'm being hyperbolic, but yeah.
Excellent. All right. So let's see.
I got all of my work gripes before the cast.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's right. The reason we missed our last one in December is because you were stuck with no shows, basically. A whole company full of no shows.
Whole company full of no shows, and me having to cover a bunch of lessons. Yep.
So did you have a Zoom call with 400 windows?
No, because they weren't all simultaneous. It was okay, well you got to go to that, and you got to go to that, and run over there, and here's the login number. It was just
nice.
In my opinion, a lot of people should lose their jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And does your company hire? Do they have overseas recruiters where they recruit people and then get them the visa and stuff and bring them over, or do you have to already be here?
I'm honestly not sure. There's a lot of Skype and remote interviews where candidates are overseas and then they come over here. But there's also domestic recruits as well, and those are the ones who usually know what's up and be like, I'm going to back out of this job. Right?
Yeah, they look at that pay and they're like, really?
Well, even that, you're like, you know what? I decided not to, right? Because my staying in the country does not depend on my employment.
Right. Yeah. So have you been watching the excitement in Los Angeles? I've had a bunch of family members surrounded by wildfires. Oof. Yeah, or former family members, I guess I should say. But yeah, I was worried. My daughter's up in Ventura. And she was saying they lost their power just because of the winds, knocking the
knocking stuff down,
power poles down. But then the winds are spreading fire. So, everybody I know there was basically surrounded by wildfires for the last 3 days, wondering, okay, are we evacuating? What's going on? Right. So not fun at all. Yeah, there's been some real scary.
I can imagine.
Scary footage.
Actually, I can't imagine because I've never been in that situation. But yes.
Yeah, I was a few of the times I was there. I was working a tower building in the middle of the valley, and the hills are all around the San Fernando Valley. All the hills were burning. It looked like Mordor, because it's like the middle of the day, but the sky is black, and there's this like burning edge of cinder, along the top of the mountains.
Wow,
it's crazy. Yeah, so it's been really, really bad timing. But that was scary because I had no idea, and there's still people on social media that are not reporting safe because some stuff isn't under control and some stuff isn't.
Okay, not to talk. It's not politics, but personal experience when there was the recent earthquake in Osaka, and then now again with the wildfires in Los Angeles. That has made me think, and a couple people have echoed my thoughts as well. That was the biggest loss from Elon Twitter. Oh, right. Like it had like there was enough of a not official, but there was almost like kind of like not disaster response, but there was a network of like a lot more information. Because when that earthquake hit Osaka, November or something, I was like, nothing about it. And even like websites, I'm like nothing about it, right? Where almost like the live reporting was one of the biggest losses, I think, of Twitter now.
I even saw people.
X.
Yeah. When I searched for video on X, because I thought that would be a decent source still, people were complaining about that. They're like, the algorithm is feeding me just garbage, and I have no idea what's going on in with the wildfires. Yeah, so crazy stuff, and that'll be quite a bill once all those Malibu houses have burnt down. The damage, and also
I'm sure all those rich people have it. I heard insurance.
Yeah, the insurance companies have fled California. There's people that have had their policies canceled and cannot get fire insurance. So their houses are burning, and they just received like 2 months ago. Oh yeah, you don't have fire insurance anymore because we don't serve California because of the financial kind of situation. So fun stuff.
How are we going to transition to game stuff?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We're just not.
Sorry. That was on my mind. It's been so nerve-wracking. Yeah, so, we've got it. This is a new year, so we got to get some new games going on. We got to get some game stuff happening.
We got to do something.
Physically, in person. Yeah, if you're going to be heading out to game days, you'll have at least a chance once a month. But, we got to get something going. The RPG thing is still going pretty regularly. There are people putting together groups.
I don't know. There's always that one room that is booked with that one group of D&D players.
Okay.
Sorry, man. I don't want any of that.
It's a regular D&D gig. Nice. All right. Should we do this?
I'm all set.
Okay. So, good to see everybody in the chat.
Yeah, chat's active.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, Carolina. Oh, dude, it's Veros here. Nice. Yeah, lots of energy, Carolina. Very cool. Nice to see everybody in the chat. Cool. And Matt wielding that mighty wrench. Oh, and Hodag.
Hey.
Yeah, nice. Wow, very cool. Good to see everyone. And Orcus. Sorry, he just saw you. Nice.
Which, it reminds me of a lot of those kid shows. I see Bobby and Jimmy and everyone else I didn't mention by name.
And the rest. Yeah, I need that handled mirror with no mirror in it and looking through that'll be weirder than it already is.
And all the rest.
All right. Let's get started for this week. Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, Hasbro OK's Gambling, what a family brand, Gundam Wargame on the way, Tales of the Valiant Starter Set, and Ultraviolet Grasslands 2nd Edition.
Okay.
Kinda. Yeah, they kind of back away from that. They're
1.9?
They're calling it 2E, but they're like, it's not. If you get the first one, you might be okay. All right, so let's start off. Well, I guess we could start off with a little bit of this.
Not the best.
Whatever game they're actually playing there, I would actually play. It looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good. All right. Well, I think this came out when we were recording last week.
Right.
So I was like, I wish I would have had a little bit more of this. But we just got information about a week ago that Hasbro with Wizards of the Coast has signed a deal for Dungeons and Dragons slot machines. So
actual physical slot.
No, this is all
Oh,
this is
okay,
all
right,
virtual
okay, yep,
stuff.
okay, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Actually, I think yeah, it's online because it sounds terrible. So there is a multi-game collaboration. This may turn into physical slot machines at some point because they're cooperating. But I have some physical machine news after the gambling part of it. But December 5th, Games Global announced that they've signed the multi-game collaboration with a Dungeons and Dragons license. So yeah, they're just going to license this thing out. Is it a license? I mean, it's amazing. What is this IP?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So, and you're going to love this. So the first game they're releasing is Dungeons and Dragons Tale of Riches. Tales of Riches. So that's real classy. Neon Valley Studios is going to give online players in non-US markets, oh boy, a modern Vegas experience themed around Dungeons and Dragons. So these are story-driven online slots.
I'm sorry, story-driven, like the word immersive, has just lost all meaning.
Yeah.
Also, when I read this, I guess there wasn't that much information, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think Hasbro's responded much. I think this the company that bought the license is like, yeah, look at us, and Hasbro's like, you don't have to brag so loudly. But yeah, they're going to so Global Games in their press release said they're going to harness the world's greatest role-playing game to create an immersive, high-engagement slot experience. Oof. So, the players will no longer be under-monetized. They're going to be perfectly monetized.
Thing, right?
Yeah, they keep
there you go.
gambling.
Yeah.
So at your 5e table, there'll be somebody doing their slots while they're waiting for their turn in combat, probably. Maybe. It's possible.
I don't know.
Wow. So yeah, it's a chance to tap. So they're happy to have this chance to tap into the global fan base, and they're trying to. Even though this was announced December 5th, so they're trying to squeeze this into part of the 50th anniversary celebration and gambling too. So yeah, these Games Global is a leading supplier of iGaming content.
That like all the thing I saw was like iGaming partner. I'm like, what the heck is iGaming?
So that's from sports betting to virtual slot machines. Yikes! So I guess we can look forward to Tasha's Pot of Gold. Right?
Well, you know what?
Mordekainen's NFL pick.
Painfully brutal.
Yes.
When it was like Dungeons and Dragons, Tales of Riches, and I'm like, that seems like a normal title. That seems like a normal title to me.
Yeah,
right?
these greedy adventures.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess because Hasbro was no effort and they made plenty of money with the Baldur's Gate 3 license, they figure why not just hand that out to whoever's interested.
Okay. I don't know video games. Who owns Baldur's Gate stuff? Because kind of like you talked about before. Okay.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody knows Dungeons and Dragons. There is an IP attached to it, but as we have discussed numerous times, what exactly does that IP look like?
Yeah,
Like I know,
right.
like just from going on like DM's Guild. Okay, there are monsters that you can't use, right? And you just file the serial numbers off them, right? iTyrant works just fine. There are like place names, character names, like spell names, but it's
Right.
all kind of. Is it a? It's been a while since I've been on the show. I thought, right? D&D being a role-playing game with kind of set established settings, but also as a game where you can kind of it's imagination, do whatever you want, right? Like they don't, I feel, have like a concrete IP the way something like Alien does,
Right,
or any other kind of film thing, right? So yes, I wonder what exactly they are kind of licensing apart from the name Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Well, I think with something like the things that have been done have been settings, and also then PC games. The PC game studios have created characters for them.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. And so that would then probably fall under that license. So they would say, okay, that's ours now because you did it as work for hire. No, but I think Baldur's Gate is all Wizards of the Coast. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think you can do anything because under that anything you produce, I'm sure they're like, yeah, that's ours. If it does well, if it doesn't,
and if it doesn't do well, then say we had nothing. Then maybe that's it. Like I bet a Baldur's Gate slot machine would probably do better than Dungeons and Dragons. Right?
Yeah, right.
And us being in the land that nostalgia never forgets, I bet you somewhere there is a pinball or actual pachinko machine of like Dungeons and Dragons from like the late 80s somewhere.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I bet that's true. Yeah, so Hasbro has got all the IP, so, prepare for Transformers, My Little Pony, Peppa Pig, perhaps, pull the slots. I mean, it just shows their greed to like such an extent that, it's a little depressing. But yeah, of course, the internet's been going crazy about that. And it's funny because it was the beginning of December, and I think the first time that the press release for Games Global probably came out, just last week. So they've been kind of telling them to quiet down a little bit. So Neon Valley Studios, the one that's doing Tales of the Riches, their previous success was Pineapple Pop. So that they do classy, awesome stuff. But speaking of physical machines, pinball and pachinko, this blew me away. At first I was like, okay, yeah, who is this for? But as I read more into it, this gets insane. So another piece of news for a license, Stern Pinball reveals they're doing Dungeons & Dragons pinball tables. Okay. So the first one that they're doing is the Tyrant's Eye, and that is a battle with Tiamat and a multi-access animatronic dragon with dragon mechs and immersive D&D storyline elements.
Sorry, man. It's called the Tyrant's Eye.
Yes.
And it's a battle with Tiamat.
Mm-hmm. And
as opposed to a beholder.
Yes, right.
Continue.
And they are manufacturing 740 units of this pinball machine globally, and we'll find out why that number is significant. So the thing that got really insane about this description is they're going to incorporate much of the tabletop role-playing game's world and mechanics. And it's like, wait, we're still talking about pinball, right? While retaining the action of an adventure within the confines of a pinball table. So you choose your character class.
Okay.
And then you go off on an adventure, and you play that out on the monitor on the table as you attempt to vanquish foes and find treasure with a pinball. But anyhow,
this works how?
So the Tyrant's Eye pinball games, you are a chosen member of the Dragon's Shield Guild, and the goal ultimately is defeat the Dragon Queen Tiamat. So of course the Tiamat is hatching plans to trigger the Dragon Wars. So you are fighting along all of these other dragons are fighting for power, so the player will experience the game's fantasy world under the glass. So it gets a little. And there's actually the iconic voice of Michael Dorn will be used to voice the dragons. So here we go. So you have to connect to the Insider Connected platform that I guess Stern has established, which enables players to interact with the game on a global network of players in multiple ways, including ongoing code updates for the software, which will improve the experience. So they have a system called the Pin Save system, including your character experience points, inventory items, and campaign progress. For more traditional experience for other players, you can just start without saved data and just play a pinball game. But so because D&D was created in 1974, that's why they chose 740 of these units to build.
As opposed to 1,974?
Right, yeah, that's right. And I guess that was a little too much. But they're going to do 3 editions of the machines. And so there's a Pro, a Premium, and a Limited Edition. The Limited Edition, look out. So this is going to have speaker...
Pro, Premium, and Limited as in... I thought like limited as in functionality.
Yeah, limited functionality. Not very fun. But it'll have the speaker expression lighting system with D&D themed effects, full color inspired mirrored back glasses, full color reflective foil Tiamats, Xanathar, and high definition cabinet details, and hand-drawn artwork by Vincent Prost. You're going to have a dragon red powder-coated pinball armor, a custom-designed autograph at the bottom arch, upgraded audio. Oh, this is for the kind of the exclusive one, the limited one. So they're just going to be signing the machine everywhere. Limited, the plaque will be numbered, and you'll have a digital inside a connected limited edition owner badge with your registration. So I think we need a new Patreon goal, right? We got to rally the weaklings and get one of these connected.
My face cannot get any more less impressed.
Yeah,
like, who is this for?
They're stretching that. Well, and also, so you're getting treasure, and then one of the features is you can go into a store in the pinball machine and acquire unique items and treasure chests. I don't know if there's an app connected with this.
You know what? Mm-hmm. This might be the next peanut butter and chocolate. Who knows? Like maybe pinball and like role-playing games like work incredibly well together, and we're just not seeing it. I, for one, do not see how you marry these two things into a coherent whole. It'd be like I'm thinking like Game Boy DS, where one side of the screen is completely different from the another one, and you're just like, what's happening here? Or I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just getting old.
But I thought it was amazing. They're pushing pinball to the limit of so when I first saw D&D pinball, that's
just make it a normal pinball machine.
Man. Yeah, but if you don't use your save data, it is a normal pinball machine. Yeah, they don't say anything about points. Maybe your experience is literally your score. But I thought that was pretty elaborate and an interesting use of the license. They're going all in with an online multiplayer experience through a pinball machine.
You know what I think happened for their 50th anniversary? They expected people to be beating down the door with collaborations. Mm-hmm. Which didn't happen.
Yeah.
And now they're scrambling for. They're like, hurry up.
Yeah, right. A lot of this is happening pretty late in the year. But I thought that was a funny thing to tag on, because you mentioned physical machines, and when I first read slots, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to see casinos full of with D&D corners. But no, it's all virtual so far, except for the pinball, but there's no gambling element. It's just just gotta get you connected to all the other pinball. So, but there's only at the most in the world, there's only going to be 740 players online doing this.
I think you're overestimating how many people are going to play that.
Yeah, right. Well, and even like simultaneously, that's probably going to be 12. But it's pretty funny that they're linking all that together. All right, so I thought this year. Probably wouldn't be any new games I'd be getting into, and then Bandai had to go and pull this
tell me
one.
You're not doing this.
Oh, I don't know. It's going to be hard. So Gundam is getting its own war games.
Correction: the title I saw is Gundam gets its own Warhammer 40,000.
Right? Yeah. Well, not quite. So they announced that they're going to do a war game. There hasn't been great. They've got a teaser trailer, and people have been taking photos at different game conventions and stuff. And sometimes there's D6s, sometimes there's D10s. It's like, okay, we don't know exactly what this is.
It's a prototype, all right, whatever. Yep.
So they've showed off a few shots of these things and maybe a few display cases. So 2-inch miniatures, so about 50 millimeter mechs, and so the anime itself and the storyline itself is usually very critical of war and kind of the mental, the psychological.
So let's strip that all out and just make a war game.
Right. So what I'm hoping doesn't happen is this just becomes like one of those kind of Fortnite, let's throw everything in there and mash
I think it's going
up.
to.
Yeah.
Okay. My knowledge of Gundam is extremely limited, apart from building a few kits back in the day, right? I understand there are different timelines, but I really think after reading the article, maybe not this one exactly, I think this is just going to be a anything and everything from throughout the entire run of Gundam is, hey, remember that whatever suit you like? We've now made it, right? I think it's just going to be,
so that would be disappointing, but they're also tying, and the reason I'm worried about it is because they're tying it into a trading card game as well. So
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, this is Gundam Assemble, and it's going to be either a trading card game or a miniatures game, and you can buy just the trading card game, or you can buy both the miniatures, and so maybe the cards have the stats that will be used in the war game. So
can't complain about that. I mean,
so it's so later this year we're going to see a Gundam on the table. So it looks like it's hex based, though. It doesn't look like you're measuring anything. It looks pretty hex based, and it's not clear. There was some, I don't know if those were just background decorations, but we saw images of sprues. So I don't know if there's going to be sprues for these 15 millimeter or if they're going to be pre-assembled, because they're hips plastic, but they didn't say whether they're going to require assembly. They'll definitely require.
No, I saw
painting.
a picture of sprues. I don't know.
Yeah. So and that's not. It's a bit smaller even than their high grade models, and it's funny. Maybe they just don't want to do this, confusing blending the hobby with a game. But it seems like that scale for the high grade is pretty good.
1/144.
Yeah, to do for a tabletop game, to give you kind of the scale, because that corresponds with all kinds of railroad scales and stuff for buildings and things.
It does.
So. I'm surprised that they're going to do this whole other, they're going to the whole other set of models for this game.
I'm not that surprised because yes, I mean, okay, I've seen people paint some 1/144 scale Gundams similar to miniatures and they look amazing. You absolutely could play war games with those,
right?
And I've seen people suggesting playable like Mobile Frame Zero,
those
which would be good. There's any number of games you could play with the Bandai kits. I have to think, okay, maybe different audience, right? I mean, like people enjoy assembling and building their kits, right? Might be different from people who enjoy playing war games, right? So I guess to be altruistic, or give them the benefit of the doubt, separate kind of easy push fit miniatures would appeal to people who want to play the game.
Right.
I think they're maybe being a bit greedy where we're like, whoa, okay, you've got a whole bunch of 1/140 scale Gundam kits. We don't want you to use those. We want you to buy this new stuff.
Yeah. And the fact that they're tying it to a card game so that it's, it is probably much more for the gaming audience. So that makes me think that they might be pre-assembled. It seems weird. Yeah, it might be hard to get, I mean, especially at that scale, to get people to be, putting stuff together that are used to, especially if they're doing the larger models.
if you've put together what GW's Epic.
Oh, right.
Epic one. People complain about that. No, I don't think they're 15 millimeter. I think they're closer to, like you said, 50.
50, yeah.
50 millimeter. Yeah,
So
they're about like 2 inches high.
Yeah, 2 inches. Yeah, did I say 15? I meant 50.
And 15 millimeter are not a pain to paint.
Okay.
They're just different.
Yes. Yeah, so they're going to be about 2 inches, which is a very different scale, but I guess that fits on a board, especially if they're going to try to keep it a smaller board.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Star Wars Shatterpoint is 54 millimeter.
Yeah.
So,
and is that a mashup? Do they have scenarios and kind of like eras, or I wonder if that's a mashup
that's
game?
the extent of my knowledge of the game,
like,
right? They're just larger miniatures. So maybe Bandai looked at that and said, that seems pretty popular. 50, let's make miniatures around the same size.
Yeah. So I wonder, because it definitely is a different hobby audience, and I think there's already been several generations of Gundam trading card games, so I don't know. And
God only knows how many here in Japan.
Yeah. So but I guess for the English market, it's probably much less.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I wonder if any Gundam trading card games have made it to the English.
Yeah, I bet not, because Gundam didn't even really make it onto like television or anything in America. It was in Canada. There was a lot more Gundam released. I think it was just like in the VHS days and stuff. It started showing up. So all the classic models they already showed off, as well as some of like the Gundam Ariel from the new Witch from Mercury series. So a lot of newer stuff. So it looks like about 2 to 3 mechs on a side using handfuls of D10s. But they're not really talking, other than Hips Plastic, they're not really talking about what these kits are gonna look like. They did give us some prices though. In the initial wave, it's going to be kind of classic Gundam, Zaku, the Wing Gundams, and then some of the newer stuff. Both sides. They always slightly change the names of the sides, but both sides of the. So the 11th of July of this year, we're going to see 4 starter sets. So both card game and miniature game. $11.99 for just the card game only. 4 sets for those starter sets, and then the 4 sets for cards and miniatures are $35.99.
Okay, not bad, because I think Miguel said the difference between this and Warhammer 40K is that you're not spending like 40K per miniature, right?
Yeah.
And some of the chatter I've seen is that like, okay, since they are bigger miniatures, and since they are, or you will need only about 2 or 3 or 4 per side, they can charge more for them.
Right. Yeah, so it'd be nice to see if these are nice, detailed, because that's the thing about Gundam is you build a few kits, you're like, where the hell am I going to put the, they get.
That's why I stopped.
They start to take up shelf space like you wouldn't believe. So it's interesting. I was excited to see this, but if it's just going to be a big mashup, because a lot of the video games, like the online multiplayer video games, it's just like any generation, anything. It's just all like Super Robot Wars, basically, with Gundam.
That is my guess of what it will be.
Yeah, so that's a little disappointing. But if they do have like kind of classic battles, like classic matchups of and that's what the starter sets would be, like classic matchups of various mechs, that would be cool to see that. But who knows? Who knows what they're actually going to do? Because the market here, especially Bandai, is aiming at the kiddies, either the older people or trying to get that kiddie market going. That's where their new stuff is.
I would be very curious to know what the market here is like. I mean, after that game day on Sunday, I went to Din Town and bought some more paints and just walking around trying to find Pokemon cards for my kid, who she actually doesn't want to play. She wants to collect them. I found out afterwards. Like, all of the game shops, like, there are people from, like, all ages in there. Right? So I wonder what the demographics, like, break down here.
Yeah, well, I think they're it looks like they're trying really hard to get a new generation, like a lot of these older IPs, a new generation of people interested in it. It's just not clicking. I think it did its best in the 70s and 80s, and it's not being picked up by because you'll see if people stop and stare at a monitor of the anime, it's always like somebody over 40. That's never
who's watching it.
Yeah,
right.
who's watching it. It's never kids going, oh wow, look at this. So it's interesting, but it's got such a presence here, and the model kits themselves are such just amazing things, like, and they've only gotten better. Like, the technology is just insane for how they articulate the models and stuff, and they're not in the lower grade ones are not too imposing to put together, so even a little kid can
don't get any. They take up too much space.
Yes, but so this is an interesting move, especially for the English speaking market, because I think especially online there's a lot of Gundam channels and hobby people building the models. So this is going to be a whole other thing where it's going to get closer to miniature wargaming, and I don't know the. I mean, everyone's kind of stealing the painting techniques from each other, but we'll see what the audience looks like. So, new year, new content, right? That's what we're doing is new content, and hey, a new sponsor. Ooh. What do you know? Actually,
not
a new sponsor, but a new approach, a new idea. So always, I'm looking for a way to fuel, to keep my energy going, to get focused, to produce content, to stay motivated, and it's not easy. So I had to give up my 2 pots of coffee a day, and just basically, So once I couldn't do that anymore, once it was just irritation and shaking, I had to find something else, and we lucked upon a sponsor last year.
Oh, nice!
Yes. So Magic Mind, and the thing that they approached us with this time is a little bit more. It's kind of a 24-hour plan as opposed to just fueling your workday and giving you the kind of mental focus. And the one thing that the concept that the creator is promoting very much both on the website and all the tie-in materials is mental wealth. So all that Bitcoin you've invested in. And
come on. I get that at work, not here too, please.
You should have been investing in your mental wealth, not your material wealth.
Okay.
Yes. Right. But just the idea of, investing in taking care of your health and the kind of the what they talk about, the 5 pillars of your health: your sleep, your diet, exercise, stress management, and exogenous compounds. So, caffeine and things you take in from the outside. And Magic Mind will give you a superior version of those compounds, but it will also do something else for you. Their new product will do something else for you. So it's paired with the Magic Sleep. So your body needs to be doing 2 things efficiently. You need to be focusing and having mental focus, but you also need to be sleeping well, or else you're not going to have the energy to output. So they have a new kind of 24-hour pack, which is a pair of both the Magic Mind for your alertness, focus, and stress reduction, and the Magic Sleep, which will help you sleep deeply, get to sleep faster, sleep more deeply, have more successful sleep.
I'm feeling very targeted here.
These are
looking right at you. I do very poorly.
Yes. Yes. So Magic Mind is the mental performance shot, and it contains time-release caffeine and a lot of other different compounds to help you reduce stress and stay focused on what you need to do. So 12 active ingredients support your body's energy. And instead of what caffeine does is just blocking the receptors that say you're tired, this actually gives you sustained energy throughout the day, so less stress. But Magic Mind Sleep is also going to basically kind of do the opposite, just help you fall asleep faster, get deeper rest. And the thing that they talk about is that all their ingredients are third-party tested. They've been sourced from suppliers, and the effects have all been doctor validated. So you're not just getting something made up. It's actually been has proven results. And one thing that they're doing recently is from every bottle that they sell, they're donating 5 cents to health charities to help the U.S. homeless, which who could definitely need it. So the thing that sets them apart a little bit, and why it's a shot, why you're drinking it instead of a pill or a tablet, is it's nano encapsulated, which means the actual ingredients are bioabsorbable. So they're very, very small compared to even what a powder can do. So it absorbs 5 to 10 times faster. So if you'd like to try this, there is a 100% refundable, no questions asked refund 10 days after buying. If you'd like to try the Magic Mind bundle, and with the code at the bottom of the screen, magicmind.com/upturnpodjan, you can get 45% off of their bundle, and with a no risk refund if you're not satisfied. They ship internationally to 65 countries, so we're not just talking about North America anymore. And they're also showing up in retail. So Sprouts, HEB, and Central Market also carry Magic Mind. So that code again, magicmind.com/upturntable. So MagicMind, magicmind.com/upturnedpodjan, UPTURNEDPODJAN.
Paying off. That focus is paying off. Right?
Yes, right.
I wasn't going to try and read that. Right?
And that will get you 45% off of a month. The monthly bundle that will give you, so it's 2 bottles a day, the Magic Mind, and then the Magic Mind Sleep.
I might actually try this because I do need to sleep.
Yes. So
you can tell by the giant bags under my eyes, right?
So thank you, Magic Mind, for your support.
Yeah.
All right. So back to
back
to the news. So I'm really surprised what Steamforged Games is up to. They are, and I have a little, I can't, it's under NDA, but I have a little insider information that they even have new projects that they haven't even announced yet.
Interesting. Okay.
That may be a lot of fun. But the one thing that they're doing, so we know they've supported with those epic encounters that they were doing for D&D 5e, which were giving you a bunch of minis and a big grid sheet to play specific adventures with statted out monsters and stuff. With their their really fun miniatures. I think they're taking the same idea and they're trying to help Tales of the Valiant, so Kobold Press's Tales of the Valiant, with a starter set. And this is a very beginning, like intro level, you've never played an RPG before kind of starter set. So Steamforged Games has partnered with Kobold Press to bring you the Tales of the Valiant starter set. So absolute basics all the way through your first session and then beyond. Pre-orders are going to be early this year. It's going to retail for $44.99 US, which is pretty standard for their boxed sets.
I want to hear what's in it first.
Yeah. So what they're giving you is 4 finely detailed miniatures, a welcome to role-playing guide, the full rules reference, 2 books filled with adventures, battle maps, a full set of polyhedral dice, character sheets, and full color tokens. So basically, everything you'll need to and it's very on the table, physical. So if that's the way you want to learn role playing and that's what you think role playing is, then this is probably one of the better approaches.
That's what you think role playing is. You'd be wrong, right?
Right. You might not be. You may be off a little bit, but if that's something you would enjoy, because Steamforged does nice miniatures, so it's nice to see that they're going to get official miniature support for Tales of the Valiant. That was interesting to see. So they're supporting a lot of. So they have War Machine now.
Oh, I had forgotten about that. Right.
So I was looking at that, and they've resculpted everything. So it's I don't know. And the cool thing though is the app gives you all the stat lines, all the rules for free. Like you're not you're not so you can take a look at what they've done with the game, see if you can proxy any of your old miniatures to actually try it out, and just to see what they've done. And the other thing is the factions list seems to be limited. So I think like War Machine and Hordes is like one thing.
Oh, really?
now.
Okay, interesting. Do you remember how many there were? Total?
Doesn't matter. No, there weren't that many. There are 7. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like it's complete now. It seems like they're still rolling it out, because some of the sets, there's basically only the 2-player starter set, and then they're saying here's battle boxes of these different factions, but we don't have much more besides that when you're looking on the website. So maybe in the process. The one cool thing though is they have a something that caught my eye is they have a subscription service for a miniature.
Okay.
They're mini crate, War Machine mini crate, and these are like wacky War Machine miniatures that can be used in the game, but are mostly just kind of creative, alternate sculpts. And I thought that was it's a little pricey, but it's pretty cool to get something that would be fun to paint that you could actually include in games monthly. I'm a sucker for stuff that just keeps coming at you. Stuff that I don't need that just keeps coming at you. But so they picked up War Machine and support D&D 5e. Now they're supporting Tales of the Valiant.
Are they still supporting D&D 5e?
Yeah. There's new epic encounters coming out all the time.
Mind.
Yeah, they've got
Pick a side.
They've got quite a few. Yeah, and then with their board games, their IP board games, and plus their so Guild Ball has kind of become a free to play kind of STL based thing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they kind of changed the support of Guild Ball, but that was one of their original IPs. God Tier is another one of their miniature games that was kind of original. I think Bard Sung, but then the rest of them are the Resident Evil, Horizon Zero Dawn kind of licensed IPs. So they've got a lot of stuff going on, and I guess they are also going to be handling the Iron Kingdom's role playing game. So we'll see. Yeah, they had a bit of a stumble with their Dark Souls role.
Oh, right. The one that was based on 5e, and so many people were finding typos in the book, and you can't actually make this game. Yeah,
right. So we'll see how that goes. But they're keeping that alive, and I think Steamforged has it seems like Privateer Press ran into some problems with how to get things done, what order to release things in. Like there were models when there weren't rule books, and there were rule books when there weren't models, and they were having some kind of problems. So I think Steamforged probably has their
ducks in a row.
Yeah, their production chain and everything a little bit fleshed out. It's only going to get harder though. So that's the frustrating thing is for these companies, it's only getting harder. But we'll see what happens to War Machine. I don't know if it'll ever be what it was, because it was pretty close to on par with 40K. You could probably find it as many War Machine games as you could
for a while, like a decade or we're here. And miniature war games are, I think, much less popular here than they are other places, but War Machine and Horde seemed fairly popular over here.
Yeah,
I spent way too much money on it.
It's thing, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if this helps, and we'll see if they're going to keep helping some of these other D&D alternatives with starter sets and at least miniatures.
No ethical consumption or capitalism. You're still supporting D&D.
That's right. You're still the company that's making epic adventures.
Right.
Okay, well, if you don't want to support D&D, I suggest you try Ultraviolet Grasslands. They're getting a second edition.
But
so the 2024 Silver Any winner for Best Interior Art. So the second edition and the siren. So pulse confirmed, entity energized. Remember, keep your Omni batteries charged and your haze meter at the ready. So yes, Ultraviolet Grasslands, the highly anticipated second edition. So they've got new art, countless otherworldly adventures. So they're boosting. This book will be 250 pages, where the previous version was 250. So larger, more evocative art, and everything to enliven your psychedelic metal.
Oh, they're
quest.
going from 200 to 250.
Yeah, 200 to 250.
Yep.
So expanding an extra 50 pages, probably mostly art. And so fair hero, the end and the end alone awaits all travelers at the end. And at the end, where was the journey all in vain? All journeys end in vanity. In vanity. So, a strange trip through the mythic steppe in search of lost time, broken space, and deep rifts. So the Ultra Grasslands and the Black City is a tabletop role-playing game. It's half setting, half adventure. So basically, it's got its own, I think, D20-based system, but you can use this setting with kind of anything that you'd like. The setting itself is inspired by psychedelic heavy metal, Dying Earth genre, and the classic Oregon Trail games.
So you all die of dysentery.
Yeah, so a new kind of psychedelic dysentery. Yes.
You spend all your time trying to shoot deer with a janky Apple IIe mouse. Okay,
right.
Did they even have mouse? Anyway, sorry.
Yes, so you can, your heroes can journey into the depths of the vast and mythic steppe filled with detritus of time and space and fuzzy rifts. So what did they do for 2E? So expanded. Oh, it's 252 pages. Okay. Yeah, 2 extra. Streamlined the character rules for smoother gameplay. Gave you different caravan options, vehicles, and equipment. A brand new bestiary section. A table of 50 adorable pets if you'd like a companion on your on your journey. They expanded the maps. featuring the whole Circle C region. And again, they're doing a hardcover book.
Okay.
And of course, the awesome art, and also they're doing a bundle for kind of a limited deluxe bundle, which will get you a referee screen, a map pack, and exclusive patches in with everything that they've done. And so the designer, artist, and writer, triple threat, Luka Rijek, is the one responsible for this setting. And I've looked at this so many times. I've looked at because the art of the book is great. It's like a beautifully designed book. So it's been tempting to pick up, but I didn't know because it's Exalted Funeral. I always thought, is this a Troika setting or is this tied in some? But yeah, it's its own thing, and it can be played, basically any way that you'd like. So Luca's work has for Exalted Funeral Press has also been Witchburner, Longer Winter, The Visitor's Guide, and the Old School Essentials Holy Mountain Shaker. Okay. So yeah, a A4 size hardcover book, full color throughout, and a PDF bundle included.
Okay, PDF included. Nice.
And yes, and it also contains a preview PDF, The Synthetic Dream Machine, Eternal Key, and a free Bear Ghost version, free Bear Ghost version. So that may be another project. And previously this year, there was actually a kind of a sequel or another, maybe an expanded setting that was crowdfunded. So Our Golden Age, so an Ultraviolet Grasslands kind of RPG sequel, did well, almost $500,000 on crowdfunding. So experience the fantascience role play at the end of time, escape the end of history, the eternal civilization is perfect. So we'll see if they're saying that this is just kind of a refinement of the rules. Right. So not a complete rewrite, but a refined version for this second edition. So I think everything that was produced previously,
like a revised edition.
Yeah, will work without too much fuss. So yeah, that was cool to see the continued support. So this might be my chance to
why not?
To pick up that setting. But yeah, I'll put links to everything in the description, and that will do it for this week.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
Not on Threads.
Oh.
Or Meta, right? So no, Blue Sky mostly, and Instagram for picture stuff. Right? It's HiveMind, HYVEMYND, where I'm finally trying to paint more 6mm miniatures. Yeah, like was said in the chat. Haha, 2-inch, right? Bro, I paint like 1mm miniatures, right? Blocks, yeah. No, I said, okay, my goal for this year is to not do anything bigger than 6mm because I have so many 6mm. So I'm trying to put together Triumph armies in 6mm.
Nice. Wow.
I think I've got like 4 going. Yeah, so I'll continue with updates on that.
Nice.
When I get them. But anyway. How about you?
So, yes, I'm still doing my single panel gag cartoon. I had my Christmas stream in December, and there'll be a January stream at some point.
New Year's.
Yeah, and we'll celebrate the new year. Yeah, I have to change the copyright date on my cartoon. So, yeah, new cartoons in the new year. That's Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch, and my single panel gag cartoon. You can read the 20 years of its archive at GoComics. So, gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And if you like what we're doing here with the weekly, consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
You can do that at patreon.com/upturntable. So pledge at any of the tiers to kind of let us know what you're interested in. The lore videos, actual play, the weekly.
Have we set up a tier for stop talking about this?
Oh, yeah. Then we just be silent. Sit there for just behind that silent
stop
timer.
Talking in general. Wow, okay.
And... We got you covered. So there's exclusive content that also matches the content that members of YouTube have available. So if you're watching on YouTube, that join button below will give you access to that. So as little as $1 on both Patreon and YouTube, you can get access to all the. So we've got audiobooks up there. All of our actual play series, the entire session, like the entire campaigns, as like one audio file or one big chunk.
12 hours.
Yes, and without ads. That's gonna make it a little bit easier to listen to. Some people said there's a lot of ad breaks in 4 hours. Yes, there are.
Sorry.
But so upturntable.com is the website, and upturntable on all social media. So do you worry not being on Threads that you'll just be replaced by an AI HiveMind bot that will just chat for you instead?
Nah, I don't know. I've deactivated the account. It's still like 30 days. They're like, you have 30 days before it gets deleted in case you change your mind. I'm like, no, bro, I won't. Anyway.
Not gonna change. All right, so that'll do it for this week. We will be back again next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye. Merry Christmas. Sorry about that. I thought I took all those out. I missed one. So how is everybody doing? Well, busy chat right away. Matt wielding that hammer. Yeah, so it was good to see everybody in the chat. Yeah, very cool. But yeah, so good to have Chris back. It sounds like work has been insane. As far as, you know, they hire English teachers, and this is probably their first job after, you know, university. So they don't know about like actually showing up for work and having excuses why you're an hour late. They're not into that. All right. But yeah, good to see everybody. So what? What are we talking about? Yeah, I wonder if there is a Pachinko D&D. That would be pretty funny. I don't think D&D is big enough for them to even bother, because there's so many more properties in Japan, all the anime and even the like TV dramas and stuff that they would do before they would do D&D. And what even is that? Yeah. Yeah, good to see Miguel. Miguel's been busy, but showed up just in time for the Gundam Gundam Assemble. Nice. So yeah, I gotta catch up on all the chat drama here. Cool, but yeah, I put the so we can see the chat much easier because it's on a much bigger screen. The one that shows up just in the streaming software is so tiny. So I'm never quite sure. So I could actually, instead of looking at it like on YouTube or on the TV, I can watch it as it comes up live. I guess that'll still be a bit of a delay. Like my response for you guys would be a bit of a delay. Nice. But yeah, so we'll have to see. So oh yeah, so we've got I forgot to plug that on the podcast. But yeah, some more Alien tomorrow. I think we're all set up. So this could be the last session, or there could be one more, depending. Depending on how things go. I just got to figure out how to drop this space elevator on these guys and kind of finish up this campaign. But yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, nearest fire is Pasadena, about 30 miles away. Yeah. And I guess the air in some places, even if you're not that close to the fire, the air is so bad in Southern California right now. Not good. Oh wow, yeah. Hodeg said brownouts due to the winter storms. Yeah, so you're either getting crazy winds and wildfires or like Arctic temperatures. There was I guess it wasn't. It was just a little bit ago, but a really cold band of freezing temperatures, and I think Texas was worried about getting snow again because they have like privatized utilities. So when they go down, they're just down. Yeah. So we'll see, but yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny they did both pinball and gambling license, but they chose like the shittiest version, a non-US virtual only scumbag company to do that. So sports betting and virtual slots, great. I don't even check. Wouldn't even trust like mechanical slots. Why would you trust a virtual app not just ripping you off? That's insane. Yeah, really, really bad. Uh-oh. Yeah, I guess I'm getting more and more gray. Yeah, it's great. The beard shows it first. I gotta get one of those creepy dye jobs where you have that solid, it looks like the G.I. Joe beard because it's one solid like artificial color. That's the thing, when your beard goes gray, you look like the Billy Mays. Yeah, you end up looking like Billy Mays if you dare try to color it. So I'm just gonna end up looking more and more turning more and more gray. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Miguel's got it. If that's what they've got to do, is they've got to connect the online virtual gambling with their VTT, and then that's the formula. That's what they're going to be doing. Yeah, because they can just pop up that screen, when you're waiting your turn. It's not your turn in combat. They can just pop up a screen, and you can roll the slots a few times. Yeah, nice. Have we been going black? I'm getting on my local screen here, it'll just go black for a frame and come back. Are you guys seeing that, or is that just a local thing? It might just be my video connection, like a cable problem, but I'm seeing a black and then back popping in and out. Yeah. Old man pinball duel. Yeah, I used to have we'd go to the arcade and for an afternoon, $5 you could spend an afternoon at an arcade in the 80s. And always the single fathers, that would take us, would spend a quarter. The amount of time it took us to spend $5. They could play pinball on 1 quarter for that whole 2 or 3 hours. That was insane. But yeah, always, and that was the arcade style. Is all the newer machines up front and the like really attractive ones, more classic stuff, and then the back wall is a row of pinball machines. Yeah, it's funny that they're still like licensing and working on the technology. Like you have to have a network. You have to have a networked pinball machine. I don't know who is going to have that, and no one's going to have more than one. And how you're going to log in? You have to. How do you? It must be there must be like a card system or something, you know, like some kind of RFID or something to keep track of whatever, all of your items and your experience and your gold. That's insane. Yeah, they still have, so the arcades here are getting like there's still some, you know, some of the old school fighting games and stuff, but a lot of there's no like classic stuff. There's no Space Invaders or Galaga or anything. The furthest back it goes is probably like, you know, Street Fighter and Tekken. But the newer like game centers are all, you know, you have to have a card that saves your game, and there's these elaborate either rhythm games or card battling games and stuff. They're all these huge consoles, and so yeah, it's much more involved. You have to be very committed. You can't just casually. I think some of the Taito arcades have like retro floors. The multi-floor arcades here have retro floors, but for the most part, it's either people wearing gardening gloves, like pounding on colored lights, like colored buttons, or all kinds of nonsense. Yeah, HO scale, right. Yeah, I think the Gundam, the 144 are close to that railroad scale, so it works well for one of those scales for modeling and stuff, because you can get a lot of like the trees and stuff will all match your Gundam if you're doing dioramas. Yeah, it's so funny that they're doing like a whole new game kind of thing, and it would be really fun if the rules are interesting. It would be fun to do those like classic matchups, like a Gundam versus, you know, 3 Zaku or whatever. That would be a really cool kind of classic stuff. But yeah, I don't know, like 50, like it's a whole different thing though. It's a whole different hobby painting even a 50 millimeter miniature as opposed to the bigger scale of Gundam, because that's all, you know, much less hand, much more airbrush, because you're covering a lot of surface. So yeah, and it doesn't look like it's going to be pre-painted stuff. They haven't been very clear because they've been showing sprues in some of the promotional ads, but you don't know if they look like they could possibly be sprues for those miniatures. But if they're unpainted on sprues, that is going to be steps that are going to keep people away, and it's only going to attract the kind of wargaming crowd. So yeah, I don't know what they're going for and where they're gonna. And Bandai has, you know, great distribution, but I don't know where they're gonna sell this stuff, because it's not going to compete with a lot of stuff. And plus the setting, like each era has kind of its deep history and lore, but the setting is it's going to be weird. It's going to, I don't know, the coolness of the robots, I think, is what attracts people to Gundam, in the English speaking world, more than the anime and comics and stuff that they support here. So we'll see. Oh geez. So Catalyst is not doing, they've already completed, so they decided they've already completed their BattleTech fulfillment in Asia after delivering the goods to the fulfillment hub. So it hasn't even gone out yet, just sitting in a warehouse to distribute to Asia. Jeez. Wow. Yeah, so we'll see. See what happens with that. Yeah, there was not a lot jumping up for the beginning of the year. Yes, Matt says, yes, Tales of Valiant, the Valiant, and the many Dragon game successors. Yeah, that really, like, they had their little moment in the sun there, didn't they? Where they're like, hey, this is just like 5e, but it's not 5e. You should play this. And people had their crowdfund, and I think though by the time they announced the games and did their kind of pre-testing and kind of crowdsourcing, like what would you like this game to be, their early design stuff, and then by the time some of those alternatives got to crowdfunding, the momentum was just gone. I think Tales of the Valiant was one of those. But I haven't heard. Did Chris miss that Bright Hammer box set? When Chris has got to get on that, and the sci-fi alternative. That's great. Nice. Wow. Talking pizza and everything. Oh, Orcus had actually played Ultraviolet. One may consider 2 in the future. Nice. Ultraviolet Grasslands. Yeah, it's interesting that we've got a couple of those now that have said, okay, this is second edition, but it's not really a true second edition. I wonder if it's just they want to continue support, and they don't want to do this is 1.27. They don't want to come up with a confusing version, so just people are assuming that it's a new edition. And a lot of people, so they'll do a new edition, but then they're so afraid that everything that's been developed for it it still needs to be backwards compatible, because you don't want to have to rebuy everything if you've already been collecting for it. Oregon Valley Grasslands. So we'll see. But and so we were approached by my mini factory, and they talked about some great stuff that's coming out. So it looks like there is a move to support a lot of digital content now, because we know that Trench Crusade is going to, all their digital, the STLs are going to go through my mini factory. So I think the momentum is building, and if they can get their only games kind of physical production stuff to work well, and have good quality control, and get people miniatures that don't have printers, this might be a big shift, because a lot of companies now are partnering with them. There's going to be official miniatures coming out from different companies with in STL form and stuff, so it's pretty exciting. So hopefully they send us some stuff, and we can start like previewing and reviewing stuff on the channel, because it'd be nice to see a lot of official support for some good stuff. So Chris said no more threads. Anybody else jumping off threads? Is it that because of the Zuckerberg talk is weird, like, hey hey, we're gonna change how we do things, we're capitulating, we're kissing the ring. Who knows? Orcus says Vegemite proves that God does not exist. Oh man. Right. The EU has new customs laws that were implemented, and stuff got held up at the border for the BattleTech Kickstarter. That sucks. That's gonna be dicey for everybody. And that's the cool thing. I think my mini factory is kind of positioning themselves to be kind of a drive-through RPG style platform, because you set up an account, and there's like different things that you can do, like their version of Patreon. They have tribes on there, so you subscribe to like monthly output of miniatures, but you have that whole library like constantly. So like a Steam library for video games, or like drive-through for PDFs, you just have this library you can always download from. So it sounds like they're really they're working hard to do that, and a lot of the artists that are supported on there are doing a good job of cross promoting with each other. So if they have a their Patreon or their tribe, and they do a monthly selection, they will include a free model from another guy, like another studio or an individual artist, so that you can see. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting these black frames. I wonder if our video thing is dying. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, those flashing black frames are weird. I saw it on the TV, but I didn't see it on anything else because it's much smaller. Shoot, I have to find out if I need an updated driver or something. I thought it was just maybe a cable, a bad HDMI cable. Oh, so Matt is Blue Sky only now. Yeah, deleted threads. Oh, yeah. People are dumping threads. That's too bad. Yeah, and that was an interesting point, especially the LA wildfires really showed what how much Twitter had changed. You can't rely on kind of at the scene on the ground coverage of things, because it just doesn't show up. It's much harder to access. Interesting. Yeah, so that's good. The attempt, the Zuckerberg attempt to make an instant Twitter didn't happen. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about the black frame there. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm too old to delete Facebook. I don't have time to download 17 years of my kids. Oh, geez, that's right. Yeah, all the content on Facebook. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, it was so funny. Very early days of Facebook, because we were using that as to kind of stay connected with my relatives in the U.S. so they could watch our daughter grow up and stuff. And so she was dancing in front of Elmo or something on television in some video, and Facebook blocked it, and then they blocked my wife's ability to upload videos to Facebook because of that one copyright violation. So I don't know if it was like the time, that it was like a long enough video that it triggered their super copyright thing. But yeah, she hasn't been able to, only photos since 10 years ago or whenever early Facebook was happening. That was really funny. But I don't think even my relatives are looking at Facebook much anymore. Yeah, it's funny. So we'll see. We'll see if Blue Sky holds it together. Yeah. Oh, can I show the game show intro? Oh yeah, maybe I can play it out of yeah, because I sent you guys a real down res, because the messenger only allows like 25 megabytes. Let me see if I can do this. If I download it, oh no, wait, it's the no, actually, yeah, this is screwed up. They're doing this weird thing where my two messengers aren't in sync. I can show it on my phone, but I can't show it. I don't think I can download the file. Let me talk and look at the same time. I don't think I don't think it's on anything that I can access. Yeah, it really sucks that the messenger on this PC, for some reason, the messenger wants to restore my message history, and it's asking for all this like weird confirmation and stuff to do it. So let's see here. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm obviously not logged in with the right account. Okay, yeah, I don't think I did that onto the cloud. Sorry. So yeah, I can't access. I can put a link to it. Or Matt, if you have oh geez, everything is asking for reauthorization. I guess, yeah, a lot of people are getting their accounts grabbed, so I shouldn't complain too much. All right, so this is for those. Yay! Everyone loves to watch two-factor authentication live on stream. Oh yeah, and so the other thing I should tell you guys about is while the sponsorship is going on, this live stream, so the audio will still go on the RSS, and I'll do the podcast only version as another video release. But this stream itself will not stay public. It'll go to limited, so you can get to it through the notification on YouTube, but it won't. It's not going to show up, like recommended to you or whatever. So it's going to hurt the views on it, but the sponsorship is already. No, sorry, Matt, it's not backed up yet. So I'll move that up online. But yeah, I can't even. Wait a minute. Did it send? No. Yeah, Facebook wants to authenticate, or wants me to two-factor, but it won't send me a code. Nice. Yeah, this is the weird thing I was having happen. Yeah, sorry, Matt. I will. I can put a link to that though. I'll put it on Dropbox and get a link. Yeah, now it won't let me. I'll just have to close that. Yeah, but that was fun. Yeah, I found some cool resources for that, and and so I'm working on the game board and stuff. So we'll have more stuff to show from that. But yeah, it should be fun. Yeah, and so the music was good, Matt. I wasn't sure because there was a lot of kind of ticking clock kind of quiz show stuff, but I thought that one was cheesy, and it was a funny contrast with the kind of retro space opera graphics. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I got to get this thing synced up because that would be useful to have that working. All right. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. So yeah, Matt's gonna do a template and a VTT. And are we gonna do cameras? Or are we gonna do webcam? We should do. It might look better for a game show to do vertical as opposed to horizontal, so portrait as opposed to landscape, or just squares, little squares. But but that would be fun. But I could also do quick, little just cartoon heads, to represent us if we want to just do voice, so we don't have to worry about. Lighting and backgrounds and everything, so we'll have to see. Technically, we'll have to try some stuff out and see what to do. But yeah, it was a good idea. I think it'll be fun. And so Matt can probably explain. I don't think it's gonna be traditional. It's gonna be kind of the gimmick or the mechanics will be a little bit different from a traditional pub quiz kind of style. But should be fun. So we'll get to doing that after we all die in the alien universe. I gotta get that saved. Have you done that, Matt? Have you dipped into your 6 months of alchemy yet from their crowdfunder? I haven't started it's probably going to expire. That's the thing. I'm going to wait too long and that code's going to expire and it's not going to work. But, Abyss has got an idea. Nice. It should be fun if we can figure out, get all the technical bugs out of it and have it work well. So and we'll have to get it pretty solid if we're going to do it as a live stream too, so that we don't run into any odd stuff. Because I don't think we've done microphones. Well, no, if we do it the same way that we do our actual plays, it should be fine if we use the Discord audio and. But we'll have to see if we're going to do cameras or what. Because I can set up. Sorry, I'm still blinking. I'm still flashing frames here. But I can set up in the like OBS or whatever streaming stuff we're going to use. I can set up both the like a Discord frames and Alchemy frames, so we can kind of do a combined version of those two apps, so we don't have to use like the audio and video in Alchemy, and yeah, so that'll help us do multiple versions. Cool. Yeah, that should be fun. Oh, and the Matt's second session of Cyborg is ready to go, so that'll be on the channel soon, so keep an eye out for that. Cool. Yeah, the problem is, we'll have to see, because I don't know. I don't know if the video, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what it looks like. But and it's up to you. Like, Matt is be the creative director for it. So we'll see how we can make it, because I don't think you have a lot of control over the video in Alchemy, but we can, do a bunch of different frames of the video and lay it out however we want. We don't have to use like Alchemy's layout. We can lay it out however we want in OBS, just capturing pieces of either screens or app windows. So yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, well, cool. Yeah, so some more Alien, and and there's only one more. Actually, if we did Hadley's Hope as well, there is another short. I think that's more of a starter-y kind of adventure, though. But they did also release. So it's is it a cinematic? I think it's just like I think it's a cinematic. It's a shortened cinematic adventure, but they have the Hope's Last Day, which is the events before things go very, very badly on Hadley's Hope, and the aliens take over. So when Newt's family brings back the face hugged father, was it? Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if we get into that, because it's not part of the Draconis. It's not part of kind of that loosely connected trilogy of those three adventures, but there is more Alien. Well, cool. So yeah, good to see everybody in the chat. Matt is breaking up the cyborgy. Cyborg, right? Does that say Borge? Yeah, I've heard Mjork Borge. Borge. Yeah, the pronunciations. That's the only problem with Swedish names for your games, is the pronunciations are all over the map. Nice. Yeah. There's a VTuber avatar that's an Imperial Guard from Elder Scrolls. Oh, that's great. Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Holding a giant wrench. That's perfect. Nice. Yeah, that'll be fun to finish up some Alien. So I just watched Nosferatu, the new Robert. What's his face? No names. But yeah, it was good. It was really good. It's interesting when there's those stories that the Eddings, Robert, come on. Eggers, jeez, Robert Eggers. When it's remaking, or it's like doing established material. So it was fun, and some people have done some fun, interesting kind of YouTube looks at this, to look at the different versions of telling this Dracula story. And I guess the original German silent film was had to be they didn't get the rights, so they couldn't be Dracula. So that's why it's Count Orlok and Nosferatu. And so kind of in cinematic history, it's interesting, like the decisions that they made, because you know the story, you know the outcome of the story, but how you get there and visually how they depict it was really interesting. I really liked how the vampire looked, and yeah, really good stuff. Yeah, and just his artistically, his films are always amazing, and does some really disturbing kind of shots that work well. It almost had an Exorcist vibe, a little bit more of an Exorcist vibe than other versions. The control that the vampire has was kind of expressed differently in a kind of a cool way. But yeah, I liked how it was done. There was a crowdfunded crowdfunded movie that was it was just real amateur hour, and the actors and how they depicted the characters was so bad, and the dialogue was real, like just written in modern contemporary English. It's like Nosferatu something, I guess, with a subtitle. It was terrible. It was really, really bad. And I think they were just using green screen and I don't know, there was CG or what the backgrounds and things were, but it was really, really poorly done. Yeah, all the actors in this, everything was really good, really intense, good stuff. But yeah. Oh yeah, there is a it's interesting. I can't believe how prudish people are getting. Like a couple of the reviews that I saw were like freaked out about the necrophilia or the nudity. It's really minimal. Like it is like, compared to like 70s, like what, kind of like not the Klaus Kinski one, the what's this the other director, I can't remember his name, but the that didn't have nudity in it, but this had a little bit when they were kind of the female characters were kind of under the spell of Dracula. They're kind of like tearing at their clothes and things, but it wasn't gratuitous. It was like very much part of them like kind of losing it, like them pulling themselves out of their corsets and stuff. So it made sense. But there is a scene, kind of the reveal scene, I think in the silent movie, the one that was kind of done like, he's on kind of that really creepy, like supernatural way that he raises out of the coffin. That scene has the and it's interesting because they do this weird I don't want to spoil anything. I mean, they're retelling the same story, but it seems like the seduction happens much earlier to the in this movie, the Ellen character. It's this trauma from earlier in her life, and so there's this weird depiction, or this weird fight between kind of this animal lust and desire and love. Like those are the opposing forces, and they kind of side them, good and evil, or God and the devil. They kind of break them up in kind of that dichotomy. So showing a nude Nosferatu, I think, kind of reinforces that this is a mortal creature. Like there is some kind of sexual suggestion, but it's really, really light, and really, really it's disturbing, but really, really light. Like he when he is feeding from the husband, from the solicitor, that visits him in his castle originally. It has this weird scene. So he doesn't feed from the neck, he feeds from the chest in this movie, like right over the heart. And he is doing this thing where the character is always doing this weird breathing thing, and there's this scene where he's on top of the husband and feeding from him, and he's doing this like it looks like a thrust, but it also looks like how a leech or something that was like trying to breathe in, like kind of like consume blood would do. They'd have to kind of like be aspirating it or something. So that was what it looked. It had those that kind of dual look of like some kind of animal feeding, but also it had a sexual look. But yeah, there is that famous scene has an extra component to it because I think they I mean it's the horror imagery and the kind of disturbing imagery is much higher, but the sexual imagery is very limited, and people are responding like so heavily to that. Yeah, it's really I was really surprised. Oh, I've got the logo off here, but yeah, it's just really well done, and it's a really interesting take on that story. And some people have said that they like his original. This is a very accessible story because you know this story and you know kind of what's going to happen. So this is easy to follow. It doesn't like go into any kind of like, insane dream imagery or whatever, because people are having dreams in this film, but it's dreams of, like things that are happening externally or internally, and they're very straightforward. There's nothing too kind of bizarre and symbolic and hard to understand. But good stuff. Yeah, but I think there was a reason for that. Yeah, so Matt asking that question for the vampire nudity. I think there was a reason to show him as a threatening mortal man, because there is this weird thing, this like, just kind of dominance between the husband and the vampire. But the voice is really cool. The choice for because he does have lines, and how it's done is really, really good. It's really interesting. It's very, very different take, very different from the Gary Oldman kind of version of the vampire, and different from the Klaus Kinski. Although I like that version a lot. And the interesting thing too is I was listening to a little bit about that 70s. What's his face? I'm looking up. 1979 Nosferatu the Vampire is a Werner Herzog. Yeah, that's right. Werner Herzog directed film, and he was really frustrated because he really went into the rats. Like the rats were really important, and he couldn't get black rats or even gray rats. It obviously looks like they were trying to put like shoe polish or something on these white laboratory rats, so the only ones he could get. So he couldn't have the big floors covered with rats and things the way he wanted to, and showing the city kind of gradually being taken over. And so there's a lot better rats in the new version. I don't know if they're if they do any CG or whatever, but there's a lot of nice plague looking rats. And they minimize the voyage on the ship. There's a lot of you make some interesting choices about what to focus on, and some of the kind of classic scenes, like the raising from the coffin and stuff from the silent film, or the coffin on the raft as they're sneaking it out of the castle, the black coffins. They some of the iconic scenes that have been repeated, like in the '79 film and stuff, don't exist or aren't done in the same way. So that's what makes it feel like an interesting kind of newer interpretation. Is it's not, here's this classic shot, here's this classic shot, here's this classic shot. It's reinterpreting those things and putting emphasis on different parts. But it was good. It was really good. I mean, I just like his approach is good. Yeah, it's funny how prudish, I don't know if that's like a conservative swing or what, but how prudish some of the reviews have been. It's like, just relax. If you actually really I mean, even like the Coppola version was a lot more sexual, and there was a lot more nudity, and it was a lot more sexual than this version. I mean, this version was much gorier and had a lot more horror images, like had a lot more like, in the dream images, a lot more transformations of people's faces and things. So yes, there is there's a Renfield, and there's a the Willem Dafoe is kind of a what's his face, the vampire. Yeah, is that wait, so Renfield? Yeah, the head of the real estate company, I don't know what it is, ends up being his serving him, as becomes his servant, and then the Willem Dafoe character is the. And it's good. It's good how it's done, because he's like a doctor that's interested and studies the occult, but he doesn't really know what the hell is going on, and is kind of just guessing. Just kind of like he has these sources that he's referring to and stuff, but he's not a come with me, I know what to do kind of character. And he really reinforces the occult and supernatural thing as being this thing opposed to God that you can't understand. And some of the characters in the movie are trying to say, yeah, this is just a plague. People are being bitten by rats, and others, including his wife, are saying no, that he is responsible. He is coming. Yeah, who am I? I can just look in the how they credited the characters' names. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, everyone's got totally different names. Yeah, his name is Eberhard, but he is the the vampire hunter guy. Who am I thinking of? But yeah. Yeah, it was done. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense, Miguel. Yeah. So Miguel is saying, yeah, it's not a conservative thing. The U.S. and the EU, by extension, are moving away from sex-positive stances in the arts to everything is problematic and might offend somebody for a while. Yeah. That must be what it is, because it's weird to react to such small things. Yes. Yeah. It's all just. Yeah. So this is an interesting hybrid, and they always do that. Like, so the original 20s film changed all the names, and then the 70s remake changed them back to the Dracula names. I don't know if they had the rights, and but that was visually remaking, obviously, the Nosferatu, the silent film, and then this one is has a new interpretation. I think everybody has different names, because I don't know, I can't think of the Dracula novel, the Stoker novel, what the characters' names were, but. Yeah, Ellen is the hero. Thomas I can't believe like looking back at the Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Coppola movie, those scenes with Winona Ryder and and John Wick are excruciating. Like, they're half fake, weird British accents, and Keanu Reeves, are so just terrible. I can't believe that, like, they were in front of a camera in costume and they delivered those lines like that, and he said, "Cut. Okay, that's the take." It's really, really, really bad. I mean, that movie, the Gary Oldman performance is amazing, but there's nothing else in that movie that it's just brutal. Those scenes are so bad. This is a really good cast. Everyone is cast really well. A lot of recognizable faces and good voices. And I didn't know, I think I knew ahead of time. Somebody said, the Bill Skarsgård is Count Orlok, but you don't recognize him. He what he does with the voice and what they do with the prosthetics and stuff, you don't see him at all, and it's a very unique, interesting take. Very cool. I can't even. No, they're being they're yucking the yum of necrophilia. But it's good. It's definitely worth seeing. I think worth seeing in the theater, just because of the filmmaker, the visuals, because there's some really great stuff he does with darkness, and some shots where you're like really close up on the face, and then a face is like kind of engulfed in shadow as they're like turning their head, and then you see a doorway, backlit doorway behind them, and there's just some really beautiful images and how things flow, because they especially when the young guy is at the castle, when Thomas is at the castle, he gets immediately very disoriented, and it's very disturbing. And they do, with the visuals, they do a good job of, not realizing am I dreaming? Am I awake? And boom, it's morning, and I'm just like in the middle of this empty room. And yeah, that's good stuff. Nice. Yeah, so it made me really want to play, like, run something with a vampire big bad. So I was trying to figure out what would be fun. And nobody's, like, I thought for sure there would be a good, like, somebody for Morkborg had done something. Morkborg, Borgie had done something good for, having a vampire king or something to kill. But yeah, there's one that was written by a 5-year-old. And there's like a bunch of blood splatter punk cool stuff, like putting vampires in your games. But yeah, so maybe I have to just come up with something, because there'd be some neat what would be fun. And when I was in the Ravenloft, in the group that was doing Ravenloft, the thing that came up is like a lot of meta gaming stuff where it's like, oh, I know this, and this about vampires. Does your character really know that in this world? But it would be fun to like establish the vampire mythology based on what the characters discover, as they're playing, and anything that they don't discover doesn't work. So if you metagame like garlic or crosses or whatever, it doesn't work unless you actually found that out in the context of the game. That would be kind of fun to play with that. So you don't really know, what the best approach to dealing with a vampire is. You gotta figure it out. Do a mothership. Oh, Matt, that's awesome. Mothership vampire. Yeah, like a life force vampire thing. Oh, that would be awesome. That's a really good idea, Matt. Jeez. Okay, that might be something good to put together. Space vampires. Gotta do it. That's right. Why? I can just ask ChatGPT. Why am I even bothering to think about this? Matt, that's a brilliant idea. Life force vampires would be great. Yeah. And not knowing, what you were dealing with or how to, yeah, good idea. Really good. Yes. And have a space vampire king. Yeah, and that would be a fun thing too, especially if it's space vampires. You have no idea how to deal with this, super powerful thing, and also something that can, take over. So you might have to, like, it doesn't just suck you, suck your life force out until you're this husk, but it does, something to, as I think, that influence the glamour, thing where they control, actions, and they control, can take control of NPCs and stuff, might be a real interesting part of it. Instead of just turning people into raisins. Yes, no AI. No problem. Oh, outgun vampires. Yeah, that would be good too. Is just do a outgunned. What is the Tarantino vampire movie? the one he I think when he wrote, and I think he's in, right? And Dawn Till Dusk or whatever. What's it called? But yes, a outgunned adventure with vampires, like yeah, I like the Tarantino movie would be good too. Abyss, you get the credit. You get all the credit for Mothership. Yeah, Matt just stole that. He just said, I'll turn that report in. I'll take responsibility. Nice. Yeah, Dusk to Dawn. Thank you, Clarion. From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, that would be a fun outgunned adventure. Is that same kind of setting where you, like, end up in a roadhouse or a bar in the middle of nowhere. It's all vampires. Nice. Or Matt could just make that the third Indie Heat vampire hunters. Yeah, that's why Will's character doesn't retire, because he's undead. Oh, that would be fun too. Yeah, having the chat. Yeah, that I think with we've got a nice active chat of gamers, it would be fun to do that. Have something that's just like a little bit out of our control that we just have to make do with, or accept the terms that chat wants to place on some character. It may work and it may not, but it would be fun to see what the results would be. But yeah, definitely Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is a big recommend. I don't know if it's going to be. I guess it's not doing too bad. I mean, for like kind of an art house film, it's not dying, but it's going to have like all that competition like quickly. I think so much stuff is coming out that might push it out of theaters very quickly in beginning of the year. So we'll see. Nice. Yeah, so we'll have to have a Selma Hayek NPC. Very good. Oh yeah, I keep thinking I can scroll back on the video screen for the chat, but I can't. Oh no, you give subs? What happened? Sorry, Abyss, I missed. Thank you so much for making me a member again. Oh, sorry, I totally missed that. But yeah, I appreciate appreciate all of that. Yeah, the chat. Sorry, I'm looking at like 3 different versions of the chat that are all timed differently. So sorry if I missed stuff. Yeah, please. Yeah, anybody bring my attention to stuff. But yeah, thank you, Abyss, being a big supporter. It's really appreciated. Oh, a poll. Yeah, Clarion, good idea. Poll and community tab is good too. It says, I work with the elderly. I've seen this before. Very thoughtful, or thoughtless, very forgetful. Yeah, I think those I think the chats would be, or the polls in the community tab would be good. Very good. Nice. Well, cool. We'll do some alien. The question was about the membership pricing on the community posts. Oh yeah. I did. Oh, did I? Maybe I didn't respond. Sorry, but we do have. I think it's a $1.99. Yeah, it's the lowest. I went as low as possible. Same with Patreon for the both the YouTube membership and the Patreon membership. Patreon can do $1, and YouTube I think does $1.50 or $1.99. I think it's the lowest that it can go. No, I did see your. I'm sorry if I didn't reply to it directly, but I did check it after I saw your comment. Check it and see what we offered. But yeah, I did do the lowest possible. So yeah, anybody that's interested. So if you want to get in on any of those polls or anything that'll be on the community tab and get notified and stuff, because I guess I can set them to either public or members only. But I can set up. I guess it's gonna have to be 2 separate Patreon. They should. They won't, but they should figure out how to link some of that stuff. Because Discord does a nice job of, if you are become a patron or a member, you're instantly in the Discord server, but there's no communication between Patreon and YouTube for anything. They didn't, and I think because they're kind of competing, payment platforms, they probably never will. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it's $1.99. Abyss was the so you can do that. That lowest level will get, and it gets you access to all member stuff. Because when I post member stuff, I don't segregate it by tiers on YouTube. Well, cool. Yeah, much appreciated. Oh, gifted. Oh, is that a different? Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I have to check into that if that's a different setting, because you're right. I haven't checked the gifted. So those tiers are available, but they may not be available to gift. Okay, I will check on that, Ibis. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this. You are working with the elderly, Abyss. You have to remember. Oh yeah, and I've got a couple of videos that were members only that can now go public. So a turtles unearthing. Took a look at the old Palladium books and some of the old comics and stuff, and also the Purple Warlock, the Spellcrow magazine that supports their 2 miniatures games, the first 3 issues of that. So I'll check that out, Abyss. Thank you. That's 2 separate things. I'll see what memberships are giftable, and I'll look up the rules too, because maybe they have some rules so that they get, because if they have to split it more or something, they probably don't let it get as low as your lowest member level. I'll check that, Abyss. All right. Well, I think we're good. So yeah, everybody that's around, please come back for Alien tomorrow. Some more Destroyer of Worlds. We had an EMP, and then something equally as much more terrifying happened, which we're gonna have to rewind a little bit because I have the map now, so I can show the players the map that I had to load myself because the content for Roll20 is garbage. But yeah, so I'll load the map. I will kind of retcon a little bit about how they got into Nebraska. It'll be the same kind of results. We don't have to re-roll anything, but they'll be in Nebraska in a different way, a little bit different way. And we'll go from there. It's hammer time. Yes. Oh, and Cyworld flip through. That's right. I got derailed on that because I was expecting to be able to order a copy of it. It never happened. So my November order still hasn't shown up anywhere. So we'll see. I think nobody knows that site's still up. That Fantasy Games Unlimited site. Nobody even knows that's still a thing. They set it up 10 years ago and hooked up a payment source to it, and nobody fulfills the orders. But I will. I'll do that. You'll see the box cover is all I have left, unfortunately. But then I'll go through the books on Cyworld and see if we can get people excited about trying out some scanners or vampires. Wait, we can mash all this up. I'm convinced we can do this from dusk till dawn with psionics and vampires and space. All right. Oh, actually, we could do that. We probably could do that in Cyworld. All right. So let's do this. Yes, yeah. Close to 8 o'clock Pacific time in the U.S. It's about 1 p.m. on this side of the world, so Australia or Asia. About 1 p.m. on Saturday, and it's Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific time in North America. All right. So everybody take care, and thank you so much to the members and patrons for your support. And we will we'll do this again soon. So so this live stream will be accessible from the notification, but it's going to go unlisted. And if you want to re-listen to Chris and I going through it all, I'll release the podcast video as its own thing. So see you again soon, and come back for some Alien Destroyer of Worlds. So take care and see you again. Goodbye.